Everybody, welcome back. I'm Deez. This is my workshop. Today we're going to make a little modification to the DAKE Arbor press. There is a recess or a threaded hole underneath the pressing arm, the pressing mechanism, and I do have a bolt that I could screw in here, maybe, and that's the thread that we're looking for. The problem with trying to use this is there's a hole there, right? So if you're pressing something smaller than this screw, let's say, or the hole, you end up with deforming your material, or not actually engaging what you're trying to press. So we need to put a plug or a plate. My solution is going to be to just make a simple, basically a screw, but that has a flat side on it. I'm going to use this material that I have here, and we're going to basically remake this bolt, but with a larger face on it that we can put on and take off as needed. So that's going to be the plan. You can maybe see there, that's what we're needing to make something for. So I'll set this aside. We're going to use this piece of steel. I like the diameter of it. It's 1.25 inches. I think that's going to be just perfect. This is about 1 inch square, so 1.25 inches round. That's going to be good. We can put it on, take it off. I'm not sure that we need quite that thick of a face, but we can always turn it off. So my idea is going to be to make a 1/2 inch thick portion that's going to remain for the thickness of the pressing. We can always, turn that down and make it smaller later. And I don't need this threaded quite so long. But regardless, I'm going to go with the dimensions of this screw, and then we can shave down and use the lathe to mill off or turn off some of the faces to get it to seat in there properly. So let's measure this. This is about 1.5 inches long, a little less. So we're going to start by measuring off 1.5 inches piece of material and cutting it on the bandsaw. And that's going to be our starting piece. That is what we're going to cut off. Plenty of extra material we'll have to turn down. Not a problem. Let's get this over here on the bandsaw and cut that down. We've got our piece. This is going to be the starting point. This is way longer than it needs to be. This is already longer now anyway, so I got to make the threads shorter, but regardless, this is a nice piece that I can work with. We can turn down and clean up. The next thing we need to do is determine the threads. I have the bolt, which will make it easy. We'll just get our thread gauge kit out. And I would assume this one is Imperial based off of where it came from. This might be too... Oh, there we go. There it is. M14. Oh, it's metric. So M14. Actually, that might not be M14. Let's try 9/6. No, it's not 9/16. 1/2 inch. There we go. That's better. 1/2 inch. So this is a 1/2 inch 13 thread pitch. And to confirm that, we'll screw this in here. There we go. Perfect. So we are looking at 1/2 inch 13. Let me write that down. So 1/2 inch 13 is our thread to use with our die. So that's really all the information we need. Really, it comes down to lathe work. And for that, we need to get set up over in the lathe. This will be a good use of this piece of steel. This is that mystery metal I got from my brother. We're going to make this 7/8 for the thread. That'll give us enough room to work with this material. Let's put a little mark there. There's so much to thread in there that it doesn't matter. So next thing we want to do is face this off, and then we'll turn this down. Well, there'll be plenty of thread for what we're doing. We need to bring this down. It's a 1/2 inch thread, so we need to bring it down to a 1/2 inch or slightly under in order to use our die to complete that portion of it. Let's do a quick test fit, and then we're gonna hot glue this before we close out this video. Let's make sure this fits. Hope it fits, or I'll have egg in my face, right? It may need to have some turned off the end. It might be too long. Yeah. There's a lot of extra. This is way too long. I'm going to turn off about a 1/2 inch, maybe a 1/4 inch, but it's too long, but that's okay. Just want to make sure we had enough. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that down off camera, and then we'll hot glue it. But yeah, that's at least 1/2 inch too long, so we'll get that cleaned up, and then we'll bring you back and we'll hot glue. We're gonna hot glue this thing. Here's our finished product. We're gonna hot glue this just to get some rust protection on it, and that'll complete this. We'll do a final fit and finish, and then we'll close out this video. We're just going to let that sit in there and let that oil polymerize. I'll get it out of there and we'll clean it up, and once it's cooled down, and we'll close out this project. Well, I think that turned out pretty well. It's more of a sacrificial piece than anything, but this is going to allow me to press things without worrying about this open hole at the bottom of this press. So we've got it hot glued. That should help protect it from any rust in the future. We can always hot glue it again if we need to. But I think it turned out pretty well for what it is. A pretty simple little piece, but a nice solution to a problem that I had. Pull this thing up. Let's do one final fit. There we go, and put this in here. Now we can press items and we don't have to worry about that open hole. Simple little project. Hope you enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Really helps out the channel. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope to see you on the next one.